Shlump. Hello everybody, it is Shlump here, and today I have for you on the Steam Deck Halo Infinite. This has been a long time coming. I've been wanting to play Halo Infinite on the Steam Deck ever since I first got it, because when I first got it, I looked on a store and saw it was unsupported. I thought, oh, I'll try it out anyways, because sometimes unsupported games work on the Steam Deck, like Halo Master Chief Collection, that works. But Halo Infinite did not work. Up until now, the only way to play on the Steam Deck was to install Windows, and nobody wants to do that. Windows sucks. We're all here for Linux, SteamOS, and yesterday, an update was released for SteamOS 3.3 that allowed Halo Infinite to be playable for stable users of the Steam update branches. I had known for a few days that Halo Infinite was playable on the Steam Deck if you installed the beta branch of the SteamOS, but I really did not want to do that because the stable branch of the SteamOS software is already buggy enough. I have to restart my Steam Deck like 5, 6, 7 times every single day. Like pretty much anytime I want to use it, I just restart it because this thing is so painfully buggy. It is horrendous. I used to think the PS5 software was buggy, but then I got introduced to a whole new world when I got myself the Steam Deck. So this update fixed a lot of bugs, but one thing it does is provide support for Halo Infinite to work better on the Steam Deck. And so now, what you have to do to get Halo Infinite working on Steam Deck, as I showed at the beginning of the video, is you just have to have the latest update, of course, and then use GE Proton 28. I think actually believes starting, I think it works starting at 26, but just get the latest Proton version and then you'll be good. And I use that launch command. I use that for games sometimes when they don't always perform how I want them to. It possibly gives slightly better performance. I don't know how much it gives in this case, but I just tried it out anyways. So if you are going to be playing this game, use that. It doesn't hurt. It can only help. But you'll see, even with that command, and even with all the settings on low here, this game still runs pretty badly on a Steam Deck. And I mean, in terms of frames, it's there, but the frame pacing is just terrible, and there's so much stuttering. It's not smooth at all. It is super janky. And so no matter how low you turn down the graphics, you cannot get a smooth, perfect 60 FPS where that line there that you're seeing in the top left corner of your screen is flat. That's what we want. That is the goal, but we're not getting it there. And Valve has been working on Halo Infinite the whole time the Steam Deck has been out, and they're going to be doing more optimizations for it in the future, of course. But this is just the first time it's been actually natively playable on the Steam Deck's SteamOS software. So this is great news. And the game is technically playable. It works. It functions. I hear even campaign works as well. I don't have the campaign myself because I'm broke. But when I get it, I will make a video on that in the future. But what we have ourselves right here is the multiplayer against other real players online. I did play against bots, see how that works, because I do enjoy playing against bots in multiplayer games as well. And the way it goes with most bots and multiplayer games is if they're running off of the CPU, like being hosted on your end, not on a server, then it's going to make the game run worse because now the game has to calculate all the bots the whole time. So the game runs about 10 to 20 frames worse when you have bots on, which is to be expected. But in multiplayer here, I don't think it goes down below 45 FPS, at least definitely on average. It doesn't go anywhere near that. It's usually in the 50s to 60, even though when it is 60, there's still stuttering. Like, very rarely is there not stuttering. That's the biggest problem with this game. It would definitely be a lot more enjoyable to play if there wasn't all this stuttering, but unfortunately there is, and we know that Valve is working to fix that in the future. They're working hard to make this game work perfectly on a Steam Deck. They've worked hard to get up to this point, so this is kind of a miracle that's even running on Steam Deck right now like it is, and it's only going to get better. And you have to keep in mind that Halo Infinite on the Xbox One runs at 30 FPS. So if they supposedly couldn't get it running at 60 FPS on the Xbox One, yet will be able to do that in the future on the Steam Deck, that's going to be super impressive and speak a lot to how powerful the Steam Deck is in comparison to like the Xbox One and the PS4. And I did try 40 Hz mode with this game as well, but unfortunately I wouldn't recommend it at all because it has a whole bunch of input latency and it just feels horrible to play, and it still stutters very frequently, like multiple times every few seconds. So it's not as all over the place like it is with the line there in the top left, but there is still a lot of ups and downs. It's definitely not flat, so definitely would not recommend playing this game at 40 hertz mode. And as a general rule of thumb, I wouldn't use 40 hertz mode for FPS games. I'd try to avoid it. Any first-person game, because the latency isn't that bad when you're playing a third-person game like The Witcher 3. I've been playing The Witcher 3 with 40 hertz mode, and it's been awesome. But I've known that I really shouldn't use it for any first-person game, because first-person games you have to make a lot more precise camera movements, and that's just going to be too cumbersome at 40 hertz. Now we've switched over to the 720p footage, and the game does run a bit better. It's definitely more stable feeling when you're playing it. But unfortunately, for some reason, the image, I did not crop it. This is how the way it displayed on the monitor when I was recording it. When I tested it early on the Steam Deck screen, 720p looks as you'd expect 720p look on the Steam Deck screen, where a thin black line on the top and a thin black line on the bottom. And so the image isn't cropped at all, but for some reason when I went to record it on the monitor, it ended up showing like this. So this is not what it's going to look like when you're playing it on the screen, and I don't think anyone's going to be playing Halo Infinite on a monitor, especially when it looks like this. So don't worry about that. And it also is unfortunate that I don't think you can choose the map you want to play on against real people. You can when you're playing against bots, but not when you want to play against real people, which I always hate it when video games do that. I think it's really dumb. Maybe I'm missing something on the menus there, but I really did not see any way to test the same map as I did for 800p, just so we can get more accurate numbers because of consistency. But instead we have two different maps, and so you can't really compare 800p and 720p footage as much as you could if the maps were the same. Just a little thing. I hate it when games do that. One note when you're playing this game on the Steam Deck is that instead of clicking exit to desktop when you want to close the game, hit the Steam button on the Steam Deck and use the SteamOS UI menu to exit the game there, because if you just use the game itself to leave the game, it might freeze for like a minute before closing the game. And Halo Master Chief Collection has the same problem. So instead of clicking the exit the desktop button on the main menu in Halo Infinite, just click the Steam button and leave the game from there. So this is the state that Halo Infinite is currently on the Steam Deck using the Steam Deck's SteamOS. Technically, it's playable. You can do it in a pinch, maybe if you want to get some challenges done, but I definitely wouldn't use the Steam Deck as your main place of playing Halo Infinite, because as you can see, it's super stuttery, super choppy, and you have to turn the settings all the way down to the absolute lowest just to get anywhere close to a smooth feeling, which you really still end up not getting. And so it's not really a good time on the Steam Deck, but it definitely will be in the future, as Valve has been working on Halo Infinite hard to get it working on the Steam Deck for everybody to play. And if you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. And most people who watch my videos are not subscribed, so it'd be really cool if you did subscribe and hit the notification bell. Stay tuned when I upload more Steam Deck videos in the future. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you in the next Steam Deck video.
What a reliable weapon.
Enemy Spartans are close. Another one down.
Active camo inbound. Active camo available.
Double kill.
killing spree.